What up? Well, I recorded a video a little bit ago about being at the shop, and I just thought I'd come back to my place because there's nothing going on. So it's been a typical day, typical weekday at the tattoo shop. Had a guy come in. I think he came in from the shelter. There's a veterans homeless shelter across the street. And yeah, he came in and then leafed through all of the designs that we had while asking about the shop minimum. Like I said before. And then proceeded to tell me that he was going to go to work and then got sent home because he was too late for work. And so now he's here at the shop. And I was thinking to myself, okay, so this guy has no money, or maybe he has like $40 or something, and has pretty much no intention on actually getting anything. Or if he does, then he just wants, the most amount of work for the least amount of money. Yeah. We got a scam call from the debt. It was like a debt collections, whatever, insurance agency. So yeah, one phone call that was a scam, and then one guy that probably was homeless. I'm not judging, but definitely looked and sounded homeless, and then proceeded to be in the lobby for about 20 minutes asking how much all these designs are, and that, they're just trying to get a deal. Like, when someone's just trying to get a deal from you. Yeah. And I get it. It's just part of the job. But yeah, so I will probably be uploading that video before this one. So yeah, watch the previous video. I'm gonna upload this one after the other one. I made a video where I'm just sitting in the tattoo shop an hour and a half before opening because you have to get there first to get any sort of walk-in business, or at least that's the rule. Like I said, just watch the video before, but so, dude, I get so tired of sitting there doing nothing. Like, I try to keep myself busy. I'll draw designs. I will draw for appointments for the future. But I've done all the drawing that I've needed to do for the appointments I've made. Like I said, I only have 2 appointments. Right now it's May 8th. It is May 8th. I have 2 appointments lined up. So that means I only have 2 instances of definitely making money this month. And one of them is, it's like a $500 tattoo. So what that means is I quoted them $500. It's some roses, different color roses. It's nothing crazy, but so I'm quoting them $500, And that means that I'm making from that, I should know this. You guys do the math. I don't know. You know what, I'll do it. This is why I'm an artist, because I don't do math. But yeah, 40% of 500. What is that? What is that? You know. Let me just check on my flip phone here. Don't hate. Don't hate. Gotta go to the calculator app. Okay. All right. So 500. Let's assume the guy doesn't tip me. Okay, 500. Times point. That was embarrassing. I should have known that. Yeah, 300. I'm making 300 on that appointment. The other appointment is a really cool orca whale. Big orca whale, like a tribal northwestern native orca whale. So I've been doing that. 2 sessions in. Probably gonna get it done this time, but that's gonna be like a maybe 2.5 hour. Let me get the calculator out again. I'm sorry, I'd probably be able to do this math if I wasn't talking in front of a camera. Okay, so 150 an hour is my rate. It's my rate. I never go above that because I think that's reasonable. Now in Seattle, you would be baffled at how much people charge. But 150 I've realized is a good middle ground. I make a decent amount. I make enough from that, and then pay the shop. You know, people are generally fine with that. That's pretty much standard. That's pretty much below standard. That's below standard rate for Seattle these days. So 150 times 2.5. Okay, that's 375. So we're up to 375. Okay. Okay, so give 40% to the shop, so I'm making 225. Okay, that's 225, and then the other appointment's gonna be 300. Okay, so I'm assuming that these guys do not cancel on me. This month I'll be making 525, guaranteed. Okay. And there's nobody coming in for walk-ins. They're just not. So yeah. It's dead. Ugh. So I just thought I'd come here, record a little video. That's how my day's gone so far. Just sitting in the shop. The thing about this sort of job, it gives you a lot of time. It allows you a lot of time to reflect, to wonder about what else you could be doing. And that's what's happening to me. Yeah, I've been sober for a couple weeks at least, and I think that's helping me a lot. It's helping me a lot. Something interesting happened yesterday. It was a very profound day yesterday in a way that wasn't necessarily big events of any sort, but it was just the way that I felt on the inside. I woke up yesterday after having very interesting lucid dreams. I haven't smoked weed in a couple weeks, and I haven't drank alcohol. Never had a problem with alcohol, by the way, but the weed has been, it's been my vice. So I fall into a habit with weed, and then when I stop smoking weed, I always get very profound, vivid dreams, and I'm able to remember them. But I remember yesterday I had a very interesting sequence of dreams. One of which involved me exploring somewhere in the Arctic. It was like I was at the Arctic Circle. I know that. You know, in dreams it's interesting how you just kind of know that you're somewhere. And I was up in the Arctic Circle, looking off in the distance. There's always snowy mountains everywhere. I might go into that in another video about my fascination with Alaska and the Arctic, and how I feel like I'm gonna end up there, up north somewhere. I think that's where I am being pulled. So, and I also got a dream that there were some homeless people jacking up somebody's car, sitting on the street, and there were these people on the street that were jacking up somebody's car while they were idling at a stoplight. I think they were trying to get like the catalytic converter. And I was sitting on the street somewhere, just over there, and I was watching them do it, but the car took off before they could steal whatever they were trying to take. And I had a box of things for some reason. I had a box of things on the street, my belongings, and so they said, "Oh crap! All right, well, failed that one." But then they saw this box of my stuff, and these homeless guys, they proceeded to. They had like a weird magnetic fishing rod, and they fished out my bike light. And they said, "Hey, that's mine, you asshole! Give me that back!" They sort of smirked at me. I woke up from that, like as that was happening. I guess that's not too important, but the whole day, I just felt in my heart, it is time to really start planning my exodus from this place. Guys, I am mentally checked out. I am so mentally checked out of Seattle. And the video I recorded this morning, I touch on the tattoo shop and how stuff is it's just dead. It's just totally dead. Business is dead. No one's coming in. I'm broke. Yada yada. And I understand that I could be doing more to keep busy. I understand that. I totally get it. But I don't think that's the issue. And I actually think that I still have a passion for tattooing. I love tattooing. There's ups and downs to it, I suppose, but it's fun to do. I like tattooing people. But there's something about where one is. Even if it's something that you love doing, even if it's your dream job, it's a lot less about what you're doing, but where you're at. And I can't encapsulate everything into this one video, because I'm eventually going to go back to the shop and, I'm going to have to sit there because, that's what I'm still doing. So I have to show up there and just sit by the door and hope that somebody walks in and I can tattoo them and make some money. But I'm just done with this city, man. I'm just so done with this city. It has taken a substantial toll on myself. I believe that I'm starting to actually suffer physical things because of it. Y'all know that it's all connected. It's physical, mental, spiritual. So, like, if you're in a place that you know you don't want to be, you keep trying to make it work. Um, but there's a certain part of you that just knows that it's not working out. I believe that your body will let you know, and I also believe that external things will let you know. This is going into some woo-woo stuff, but so cold coffee. I like black coffee. I don't even care if it's hot or cold. I like me some black coffee. That's something I'll never quit. I just like coffee. That's the only drug I do right now. But, okay, so yesterday, I didn't finish this. Yeah, the whole day I was just feeling very depersonalized. Like, detached. Like I'm watching myself live life. Almost like GTA. Like what do you call it? A third person shooter game. You're kind of like watching yourself, hovering over your own body, watching yourself. It was very depersonalized. It was vivid. It was like the whole day was like a lucid dream. And I just felt so weird. And I knew something was different. Just felt checked out. I was at the shop, just like I am today, by myself, drawing, and I hear this scrap. There's a window really close to me. There's a sidewalk. I hear this scraping, a very light scraping. And I didn't really pay much attention to it at first. Maybe a leaf blew by. But then it kept happening. It was like this little scratching sound behind me. And I thought, okay, maybe it's a homeless person. Maybe it's a crackhead. You'd be surprised. There's weird people. They come up to the window and they're casting spells on me or whatever. Scratching the window. I don't know. So I kept doing what I was doing. I said, okay, if this happens for another couple seconds, I'm gonna turn around and figure out what it is. So I kept hearing this little scratching sound. It sounded like a little critter scratching against the window. And so I finally just turn around and say, all right, what is this? What's going on? I open up the curtains and I peer outside, and there's this crow it's like he's like kind of like flying into the window but against the window, specifically right where I am. Now, this is the crow that I feed on a regular basis. And I know that it's the same crow because this particular crow has a broken beak. The top of his beak is broken off. He's got a little chip taken out of his beak. And he's never done that before. I feed crows in Seattle. And they recognize me. So they know where I live. They know where I work. Some of them, they will kind of follow me to work. And then I always carry this bag of peanuts, right? I always have peanuts. They love peanuts. So I'll throw some peanuts. I always have peanuts on me in case there's some crows. So the crows know me around here. Yeah, I'm on good terms with them. It was that crow. That one crow. And he's like scratching the window. He knows I'm there. He can see me through the window. And so I run out and I get my peanuts. And I go outside. And there he is. He's just sitting on the sidewalk looking at me. And so I take some peanuts and I put a couple against the tree about 10 feet away from him, thinking, oh, he's just a hungry guy. He's hungry. Didn't even touch the peanuts. He wasn't interested in the peanuts. That's never happened before. The crows, they love peanuts. They will always go for the peanuts. The seagulls, hit or miss. Sometimes they don't care about the peanuts, but the crows love peanuts in the shell. They like breaking it open. And I put the peanuts right there and just kind of step back. And the crow he just looks at me, but then he just flies away. I was tempted to follow him. Maybe he was leading me somewhere, but I don't know, man. That was weird. That was just weird. And I think animals have a sense. Like, you connect with animals on a level that's more than physical. They can sense things. It's like when dogs or cats know when there's danger, or they just know things. Like, they will let you know things. They'll let you know things in weird ways. They'll let you know. They'll just let you know things. Maybe that crow was just... Maybe he's telling me to get out. You know when your heart is checked out of something, but I don't know. Now that I am talking about it and I've been reflecting on the 4.5 years that I've been here, why and how I managed to do this for this long. I might be a dumbass for putting all my eggs in this basket, but I can look back on this experience after I leave this place and go back, you know, go back to my hometown, most likely. I'll talk about that, what that feels like, going back to your hometown. I will look back on this experience and at least be able to say I was there. Like, I spent almost 5 years in one of the most expensive major cities in America, just doing art, just tattooing. I didn't really think I could ever do this. When I was younger, I didn't really have a concrete plan. It was not paved out for me like it is for some people. I'm very different from the rest of my family in the sense that they all kind of just picked a career path. And they've just stuck with it. And that's cool. That's cool. I am so proud of my brother and sister for what they're doing. And they seem to be doing good, well off. Sorry. I have an older sister. I have a younger brother. We're not that far apart age-wise. So I have an older sister, about a year and a half. I want to say a year apart. And my brother is about a year and a half younger than me. My sister is, I want to say, well off. She has a husband, good guy, got married, I want to say like 27, to an engineer, good guy, from Indiana. So they met in engineering school. But she's a dietitian. She has 2 kids. So they got a house. They got two kids. They got a dog and a cat. And they got a couple cars, and you know, from the outside looking in, they seem to be very well off, as far as I can tell. And she's beautiful. I love her. And she worked hard, and she just kind of picked this path and stuck with it, and they're doing good. My brother's in the Navy, and he just got into pilot school, so he's like 6 years in the Navy. I believe that, I don't know if his rate changed or his job title, but he was a fire controlman for the U.S. Navy. So from what I understand, he's the guy that works on the 5-inch guns on the big destroyer ships. He sends me videos once in a while, but yeah, and he just got into pilot school, so he's in the process of taking those classes. And last time I talked to him, he doesn't even know what kind of plane he wants to fly, but he's gonna be a pilot, so he's gonna be in the Navy for a little bit longer. He's always been like the left brain one. I was the I'm the artist. I'm the musician. I kind of feel like a jellyfish in life, where you're just kind of doing this. You do this. This is kind of how I go about life. Right? Kind of imagine how a jellyfish moves. But also, I don't really want to say that I regret putting all of my eggs in this basket, but at a certain point in my life, I had to just commit to doing something, because beforehand, when I was at art college and smoking a bunch of weed and like walking around at night and philosophizing about what the meaning of life is, and how I don't like money, and how I just want to go live alone in a hut somewhere. I haven't really changed much from that. I have not really changed much from this mindset where I'm constantly in some sort of existential, what is it called? Like existential ambiguity or threshold, liminality, I guess is the word, where I don't quite know how to, when it comes to like a career, I guess, it's very foreign to me. I just know what I like to do, and I've always just done what I wanted to do. I am a very, very good artist, but I'm a very bad promoter of said art. And I suppose you could do the same thing. You could say the same thing about my music. I don't have to tell you that I'm a very talented musician and that my music stands out well above and beyond anything else that I know around here. That's one thing that I can say definitively and be able to back it up. I can't say that I'm a good entrepreneur, because then I'd be a liar. I can't back that up. I have like less than $600 in my checking account. I have no savings. I am a creator, but maybe not the best promoter of said creations. Now, one could argue that to be a whole person, a successful human being that's functioning in this industrial society, one must be able to conquer that aspect. There's plenty of good musicians and artists and writers, whatever. Pick your craft. But we will probably never know who they are. They could be homeless under a bridge, making cardboard art with garbage or something. And those are people who never were able to, they were never able to promote themselves in this culture that we live in. So I hope that I'm not shooting myself in the foot by leaving this place and then going somewhere else. I don't think I will. I really don't think I will. I believe that I'm making the right decision, because something else that I struggle with is being at a constant crossroads of whether I should stay or whether I should go. I'm a Pisces, right? I don't know much about the astrology stuff. I dip my toe into that realm, but I think there's something to it. And one aspect of Pisces is, if you think about a Pisces symbol, they're two fish that they're traveling in the opposite direction, almost like a yin-yang sort of deal. My decision making is so spacey, but I feel like there's always like a dualism to everything. It could even be, it's not just like, oh, where do I want to end up, or what kind of car am I going to buy next, or what career. The career is definitely a tough one, but it's even like what pair of pants am I going to wear today. Analysis paralysis is something I struggle with, because it seems like I will paralyze myself with indecision. It's this weird mental thing. I always seem to figure it out, but I've had weird freakouts, like internal panic attacks, from just the paralysis of indecision and tripping myself up. Like, why am I struggling so hard to just pick a career path? I think I have anxiety surrounding that decision, like choosing to commit to things. I want to, but with this world and all of the uncertainty, I'm always thinking way ahead. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is I'm thinking way ahead. I'm gonna start, this is my plan, right? I'm gonna start looking into welding apprenticeships. I want to weld, and that's something I'm dead set on. I'm dead set on burning rods. I want to burn those rods, man. I want to weld. And it doesn't matter if it's not like a cool artsy job. I'll weld pipe. Like, I will weld ships, shipyard welding. I want to do that. Like, I want to pursue the trade of welding. But then the welding's like a huge term, and then with welding, there's like all these little subsets, all these little subgenres of welding. Okay, well, what kind of welding do you want to do? And then so I've decided on welding, but then this is where I'm at now, is I am hyper analyzing what kind of welding I want to do. And then for each little kind of career that I could possibly get into, how do I say it? There's my mind is always, it's like a little voice. It's telling me, what if it doesn't pan out the way you wanted? And it's not, I think there's like a degree of that in everybody. But if you let that influence you too much and entertain that, then that is what makes one stuck, like paralyzed. So when I decided to pursue a tattooing career, I just kind of did it. Like, I just went to learn how to tattoo. I got licensed. And then from there, I just said, well, I got my license. Okay, let's go to let's see what shops are hiring. And then I was in Oregon at the time, and there was an ad on Indeed. This shop needs a guy to do walk-ins. And then it's so weird how I've always had very good luck getting hired. With all this hysteria surrounding the job market and how the job market's cooked and no one's hiring but everyone's posting jobs. I do not have that issue. I do not have that issue at all. I don't have issues. I've had no issues finding apartments, and then I have seemingly never really had much issues getting hired. So I guess that's a plus for me, because one thing I'll say about myself with all of this depreciative criticism, I will say that I am the most honest person that I know. I'm a little biased, right? I think we all are. But I will just straight up call I don't even apply. Like, I don't even care about applying or giving my resume. I almost quit the tattoo shop a couple weeks ago, and I was looking at random jobs, just jobs to pay the bills for the last few months of my lease before I move. And I found this junk hauling company. It was like 1-800-GOT-JUNK, but independent. You drive around in a truck, you pick up junk, and then they seem to make decent tips from it. Anyways, I noticed they were hiring, and I saw the ad on Indeed. I called them. I said, "Hey, I'm interested in this job. I don't know if the position's still available. I don't have an Indeed account. I don't want to make an Indeed account. I just thought I'd call you guys and say, I'm interested in this position. Is it still available?" And immediately they're like, "Oh yeah, it's still." Asked me a few questions and whatever. I was about to go, because then they just said, "How about this? You show up to the center and bring some boots and gloves, and we'll start you off, and then we'll pay you cash at the end of the day. And if you're available for the whole weekend for 2 days, we'll just get you on for 2 days, and then see how you like it." And I just knew in the back of my head, I could. They'll hire me. I don't know where my resume's at. I don't know where it's at. I haven't used my resume in like 10 years. Like, I don't care. That's the most luck I've had. I show up to the place. I got hired at this plant nursery spraying pesticides on plants. It was a really shitty, menial labor job, but I remember I just walked onto the farm and then flagged down one of these migrant guys on a tractor. I said, "Hiring? You guys hiring?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, sure." And then I have no problem getting hired. It's just, yeah. It's in here. One must master the indecision. I know it's my own problem. I know it is. It's just crazy. I've been here almost 5 years. I question my decisions a lot. But I think I just stuck it out here because, well, it's the music. I'm in a band, and I love my bros. I love my, my music buddies, and I like the community in the music scene here. But it's just not enough. It's not enough of a reason to justify living in this place. Maybe I'll make a video tonight about like just the city in general and all these other things, but yeah, I'm gonna get back to it. I know there's nothing going on at the shop, but I still want to go back just because, I want to feel like I'm doing my job. All right.